You want to get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim.
California dreaming.
Meal is something simple, something I can make in 2 minutes, but still healthy, satisfactory. It hits the spot. It hits 2. It hits 3.
Okay, 2 minutes though. That's a very fast. Like, what are we talking about? It's like cutting an avocado in half. Like what
something like that.
Okay, like
putting it on toast.
Just like boom, bam,
bam.
Eat it natural,
yes.
fresh. But like,
get some nuts on it. Sprinkle some nuts.
Oh yeah, who doesn't
something.
love a little nuts? Yeah,
chia seeds.
Cheats. Yeah, you gotta get that sort of fatty umami flavor going. A little carb, like all the 4 food groups represented.
Exact.
Boom.
Yes, I'm very I need to have everything there. I like to have the whole picture. I don't like pieces.
Gotcha. Less processed, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, en natural. All right.
Yes.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Rojan Kim cast. This is me. It's me, Rojan. You guys know that already. But joining me today is Mitchell Lamar. Everybody, Mitchell Lamar is a comedian. He is a shaman. He is a trained killer also. And he's joining me today after having served his country. Thank him for his service, you fucking bastards. All right, thank him. And laugh at his jokes. Laugh at where can people find you on Twitter, Instagram? You want to throw out your handle?
These social medias, there's so many. I am losing track of where I am.
You have, how many social media accounts do you have? What are you talking about?
It's
You don't have just one for your Twitter? Like you have multiple Twitter accounts?
I deleted something and re-downloaded it.
Well, all right. Well, I'll get to this at the end of the show where we could plug stuff. I just wanted to see if there was a quick way you could throw out. I was just trying to give you a second to. But look, we'll Google him and comedy, I guess, throw at the end of it. Yeah. Are you online on places?
I'm online.
He's online.
I'm offline.
They're offline. There's images of him. We are in, what is this area? West Adams? No. What is this area called? Mid-City?
That's what I've been told. So I've been telling people that.
They tell you Mid-City. Okay, that's
And then
fine.
when I tell people it's Mid-City, they're like, oh, that's Mid-City? And I'm like, you just told me.
Do you think they say that in a judgmental tone, as if like to say, we thought Mid-City was nicer?
Sometimes it's judgmental, and then sometimes it's like they hit a light bulb. They turned on one. But other times it's very like, it's so interesting that you said that, because sometimes it feels like, oh, that's Mid-City.
Yeah, right. There's a little tone of like, is it safe? Is it? I don't know if I feel.
And I just
safe.
say, duh, it is very unsafe.
But you know what? All of LA is unsafe. That's the thing that I think people come here. You know, I actually take it for granted because I grew up here, and I forget that. You know, people are coming here from other places where they have actual cities, real cities, and things make sense there.
Yeah.
But things don't actually make sense here at all.
No.
It's a sort of chaotic urban sprawl.
Yeah, to renew your driver's license, you have to go to a Starbucks. And
of course, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I've never heard of that, but I think I don't bat an eye.
I had to, and
what was that like? Did they call your name out and stuff?
They did.
Were they all like Michelle?
Yeah, I have a cup right now that's I try to use it to get into 5 clubs, and no one has let me in.
Oh.
And
it's a DMV cup? Is it or is there a chalice?
Yeah, they called my name up to the window.
Uh-huh.
And they took my documents, which was just my wallet, you know.
Right. They just took your wallet.
Oh, yeah, I don't have it anymore. So that's why I use my cup. Because, I mean, it still has my identity.
Oh, wow. It's a cup-based identity. I didn't know that. Was it's actually, hey, you know, there's
a grande is my, ID right now.
Right. That's, okay. I mean, grande sounds big, but it's not that big. I mean, it's,
I'm only, I am.
Uh-huh.
No, you're good?
No, you go. You're the guest. I gotta hear this.
Okay, so the only thing I'm mad about is they spelled my name wrong on my ID. So
like fucking Starbucks does.
All the time.
Okay, but they spelled it wrong on your ID?
Yeah.
So then what?
But they said it right.
What recourse do you have? Can you they should do it for free, right? They should.
Oh, thankfully I have my receipts. I think I can go back.
You got to go back to the Starbucks This is where we're at in California, where they're actually privatizing the DMV. That Starbucks is taking over. Yeah, this is what people call this place California, but I don't know. I'm seeing a libertarian paradise. Sort of privatization going on. I don't know, guys. It's sort of both. We're living in both. We're living in both a communist and fascist.
They're like yin and yang.
Yeah, it's both at the same time. I don't see why one is better than the other. Why not have both?
Yeah.
Why not just have boot crushing our necks? Just it doesn't matter what color the boot is. Doesn't matter if its color's red or white. Like just fucking it's crushing crush us all. The poor, that's who it is, right? Crush the poor. But this area typically. See, I'm from here, so this area used to be everything south of the 10 used to be like the hood, right? Like used to just be that was sort of the LA is very segregated. I don't know if you've noticed this by now, but it is fairly segregated racially, like geographically. People sort of, and that actually has a lot to do with the history of LA is a lot of these housing associations, and housing associations around the country were similar in that they would form these sort of informal associations between homeowners to make sure certain desirables were allowed into the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a kind of it's not like a law, but that was just the way things were. The culture.
That's so bizarre how it's like that. Just reminds me. There's something about that reminds me of like in India where there's untouchables.
The caste system. Yes.
Yeah. Well, here it's like
it used to be race, but really it's economic. I think it's always been economic. Honestly, it seems like it's always been economic, but race has been a great way to distract the poor from uniting against the rich. You know what I'm saying? Like if the poor really wanted to just get down and be like, why don't we just take this over? Like, why aren't we doing anything?
That's why I am reading a book on, it's called Resistance, Rebellion, and Revolution. The power of story, and I am excited that I could be leading
a possible revolution.
Something
could be happening.
Something's going to happen.
Listen, now you served in the armed forces. Is that something you don't like to talk about? You seem to talk about it on stage, so I didn't.
I do. No, I talk about it.
Okay. So what you were in the Army?
I was Air Force.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I was telling you, my cousin was in the Air Force. Okay. So you're in the Air Force. What led you to enlist?
Just it's time for a change. China. I was like,
So where were you?
I was at my parents' house.
Where's that?
It's in South Carolina.
So South Carolina, a small town, big town, city.
It's like it should be the capital, but it's not the capital.
Wait,
it's one of those cities.
What's it called?
Charleston.
Oh, Charleston. Okay. So Charleston,
Yes.
South Carolina. Young Mitchell Lamar sitting in his parents' home thinking, God, I got to get out of here. Was that kind of part of it? Was it like part of the allure of leaving? Or
it's kind of like, Mitchell, you need to do something or get kicked out.
Oh, gotcha. So it was time was coming up.
Yeah.
You were no longer a kid.
I don't think they were going to really kick me out, but
you felt it. You felt a sense of, that's good. That's good. Not everybody does,
Oh, okay, true.
You know what I mean? People stay till the bitter end. Like people
Yeah.
get kicked out by their parents when they're 40.
Yeah,
So,
and then, I was gonna stay, but then they put a gun to my head. And
good for them. I think that's the best thing they did for you. Let's be honest, right? Like the bird, mama bird has to kick the baby bird out, of the nest. You can't just let him stay there. He'll never fly. He'll fucking just die. He'll just.
I had a conversation about this with someone else. What is wrong with having that family unit so strong?
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's just the society we live in. Like if we were in another country, a culture where that was normal, then that's what we would do. But in America, you are not really an adult until you get out there on your own. That's
but
part
the
of what.
question is, but why not? But let's say there's difference in culture. Well, why does it have to be wrong that it's different because it's in that
It's
country?
definitely not wrong. And in fact, when I was younger, when I was like in my 20s, I would be telling everybody, just go out there, get out of your homes, follow your dreams. You got to get away as far as possible. Do your own thing. But now I'm 41. Now time has passed, and for me now, thinking back, I would tell people, just settle down, find somebody to love, and start a family with, have a home, do all the normal things. Like, that's really
I'm
what
on
is
this
best
podcast
for most
because
people.
do you just bring people on to spank them?
No, not at all. Is that how you feel? Like you're being spanked? I'm not actually telling you to raise a family. What I'm saying is that
I should raise a family.
Overall, you're saying,
I want a family.
Why is it bad to have the family unit and be with them? And I'm saying it's not bad. It's not. But the myth of America is the rugged individual, is the person who can't conform to the niceties of where they're at, and they need to go out into the wild and find their own fortune, and that's sort of been
that's so interesting.
The
it's
mythology
such a very,
of America.
Something very interesting about that
Yeah.
story that
It's a story we all have.
America wants.
Because think
Or
about it,
like-
you're a guy from South Carolina. You joined the Air Force. Now you're in Los Angeles. You're a student. You're doing stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? Your life has taken you to a crazy place, like a place that, let's say, 50 years ago would have been impossible. 100 years ago, definitely impossible.
That's
just
true.
keep going back and back. Like you and I are both living in a unique time where we're mobile, we're going around, we may not be, say, the elite or the rich of the society, but
we're living like a very freer world.
you have wine in a box, and you're drinking it, and and you didn't have to murder anybody for that.
Well, I
Like,
did
you,
have to kill the clerk. And,
okay. Well, but that's a small price to pay.
sorry. Actually, it's it's
Small price
sunset in Fairfax. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
It's also barefoot, so come
Barefoot.
on. I mean, it's
Maybe it wasn't worth it to kill him for this.
At least not for a bigger box, maybe.
Y'all, I am drinking from a 2-gallon box right here of wine,
dude. And he's doing great. I mean, I can't even tell. Like, I got. Okay, so you're a kid. Air Force.
Yes.
Was there a reason Air Force in particular? Like, did you want to fly? Did you want to bomb? Keep
Sorry,
people?
I tangented because I didn't want to talk about this.
Oh, you didn't.
I'm
want
just
to talk
kidding.
About it. Oh my god. I was like, why would you now tell me? No, which is fine. That'd be so weird if you
That's funny.
waited for 10, 50 minutes and be like, I told you I didn't want to. I was like,
That's
oh my
funny.
god. Okay. Air Force flying.
Yep.
What was it? Was it
Oh,
the flying thing?
well,
What was it? The science? I know there's a science component to the Air Force. People are into that. What was it in particular? Is there anything in?
No, I was an IT technician, and then
So computer shit.
but where I was, it was not stimulating the mind. It just felt like I was just pressing buttons.
Where were you?
I was stationed in Turkey and Japan.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm done pushing buttons. Like, I understood what it was.
Yes, the greater good.
No, it's like
No.
even like you follow instructions to the letter.
Gotcha. Okay.
When you do your job or whatever.
Right.
It's called a TO, a technical order.
Uh-huh.
And it's just you're just pressing these buttons.
You're not a robot.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
When I was in not tech control. It's when I was tech school.
Uh-huh.
I learned like the IT school, like networking and all that. I mean, I barely passed, but I do know what I was learning.
Uh-huh.
But when I got to my job, it was totally different. And it was like
So
just
everything you
pushing
learned had
buttons.
nothing to do with the job, basically.
Yeah, which I know I've heard happens a lot, but in the military, it was so.
I mean, that happens
jarring.
in college. That happens in trade schools. You know what I mean? That happens everywhere now.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it's
it was
that.
like literally just pushing buttons. I have no idea.
Right.
Because we would call people who would actually fix the issues that was happening.
Oh, okay.
So
you had
it's
some tech support. So you weren't fixing things either.
No.
You were just executing something a program could do, essentially.
Yeah, like
right?
we would call someone that we would tell them what was happening. Or actually, sometimes they would call us, like another base will call us, like, this isn't working on your link on your end.
Uh-huh.
We would know, the only thing we would know is, like, are we connected to that base? Are you that Oh, should I be talking about this? Oh, my God.
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong person.
Oh, my God.
You're the expert here. I think.
Are you the enemy?
Well, one of us is maybe. Hey, according to the courts, like you're the one with the information.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine they read this transcript back? They were like, then he revealed the.
No.
Then.
Oh my gosh!
Former Airman Mitchell Lamar revealed the secrets, and then he said, "quote Oh my god."
Question.
Yes.
Can you cut that?
I don't know what part to cut.
Okay.
Yes, but I can. What did you say? I don't even know what you said. What did you say?
Okay, for future, for when you go through it. Okay, so the part it's like when I start describing the job. Because it's top secret.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like I'm trying to. I know I want to talk more about the military, like that.
Okay. All right. Let's. Okay. We can.
But
go.
no, we can still talk about the military.
No. Okay, we're gonna. There is some top secret information. I had to beep or cut or whatever it is. So that's what we did. That's the edit. What, Mitchell Lamar? I don't want to endanger you. My listeners and myself, anybody with any kind of top secret, or the country. Okay, frankly, I love America.
Okay, so there was a point where I was like doing this job. So I was an IT technician.
Wait, are you like redoing this? Like,
yes.
No, you don't have to redo it, man. I'll just bleep out the parts, and then.
No, because I want as much as that can come out. Maybe I have to. We'll figure it out.
Did you actually? I don't think you said anything specific. I mean, honestly, I don't think you said anything.
Well, I mean, like I did.
No, you don't have to like now go into specific.
Gotcha.
No, but honestly, you literally said where you were stationed. You said that you executed technical orders and that, but you weren't in charge of the troubleshooting. So essentially, your responsibilities are just relegated to this list of buttons you push. That's basically all you said.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's. You didn't.
When you tell it to me like that, okay.
No, I mean that's what I.
You're right.
You literally. That's all. You didn't say anything specific. Like you didn't say any numbers or serial number. You know what I'm saying?
This is how my psyche was in the military. It was
if they captured you, they'd have gotten a lot of shit out of you, huh? If somebody captured you and just befriended you, you probably would.
Okay, let's talk about this sometimes, but I can't go too deep because we literally. Okay, so there's something called SERE. You could research it. It's like a training camp where you go just in case your plane goes down in enemy territory.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an intense school.
Oh, what does it stand for again?
It's like survival, evasion, resistance.
Survival, something resistance, though. It's like interrogation resistance or something.
Yeah, they do that.
Because don't they train you to, like, you only say your name and serial number? I remember reading about this. Yeah, you only say your name and serial number. You have a list of things you only repeat. You don't say anything else, no matter how much they torture you, right? Like, you have to expect torture, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Do they ever simulate it?
Huh?
They ever simulate torture on you? Or is that top secret? You can't tell me?
I don't know.
Okay. Not like, do they waterboard you? Or is it? No, you can't tell me? All right, don't tell me. Just wink. Hold on. Just look fabulous.
I can say this. I remember one day for like 7 hours, we had to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. And it was on loop. It was just like...
Really? The M. Night Shyamalan version, live action one, or the cartoon one?
That's all I'm not allowed to say.
You can. Oh, fuck. The military. Well, I'm glad my tax money is going into something that seems on top of it. They seem to be on top of it. And this is why we've been safe for this many, I don't know how many years, but we've been safe. So God bless you and all our armed forces.
Yes.
The men and women out there serving. You're not the fucking enemy. You know who the enemy is? Enemies are the fucking fat cats in Washington that are fucking taking the money, man. They're taking the money, putting people in danger. And that's what they're doing, right? I mean, that's just common sense, seems to me. So did you come to a point where it was like, it's over? They gave you like you have a certain amount of years and then you can elect to go back or not or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so
that point happened. And
you're like, goodbye.
After I separated, some people call it getting kicked out, but...
Did they like really try to lure... My cousin said they keep trying to lure him back. They give him offer. They keep calling it. They keep... he's out. He did his thing too, but they keep, Oh,
yeah, they give you like a bonus to stay in or something.
Oh, but he also gets like... he had to go like all the way out to Riverside for some like debriefing thing. They keep making him do stuff. You know what I mean? They keep making him like over time.
The military will send you to do stuff that's just like... makes no sense.
It's like a weird X. It's like a weird, you know what I mean? It's like one of those X's. It's like you're still asking me to like pick up stuff for you. Like, are you gonna do errands for you? What's going on? What is this?
Fucking
like,
insane.
I thought we were free.
Yeah, I remember one task I had to go pick up Plan B for one of my superiors.
All right. Nice. For it was the superior.
I don't know why we
or-
needed it because we were definitely two guys.
Wow. So that. Huh. Maybe it's just to have. Maybe it's just like you never know.
I guess so.
Just to be caught better safe than
he
sorry.
was dumb. He was kind of dumb. I just went along with it.
Kind of
'cause he was
dumb.
very
That sounds
hot, yeah.
incredibly dumb. Because what was his thinking? That he might be pregnant? That's the only thing I could think.
Yeah. It was
I might
like,
get pregnant.
which is weird because we just watched. So he's very into energy and all that or something. He was
Wow,
very
that's
dumb.
even crazier than I thought. I thought he was actually inseminated, but no. What you're saying is that he watched.
But the thing is, what's crazy is that I gave him these ideas. It took a few weeks, but
Oh, you mean he's like very
now
susceptible to suggestion? Were you just bored? Is this what this is? Like, were you just bored and you're just brainwashing guys around you because you could?
No.
Is that okay? Because I feel like that is something you might do for fun.
I was joking.
Okay.
Oh my God! I would never.
What?
Never. That is
Never.
unethical as fuck.
Not even say just like, let's say there's an alternate reality version of you that's kind of like into drinking and coke or something. You know what I mean? Like a little more on the dark side. A little more, I'm not saying you.
Yeah.
This one, but in the multiverse, there's got to be a Mitchell Lamar who's like,
You believe in the multiverse?
I think so. I think I don't know. I can't believe in anything 100%, but it makes sense
good
that
point.
there are infinite possibilities, and
Yeah.
that therefore maybe there are infinite universes. And the science is starting to like back it up or whatever. So what do I know? It's for me. It's just telling stories, right? Like, but I do think that for me, it helps me actually fight off depression because anytime I start feeling kind of down, I think about all the different possibilities that could have happened in my life and where I could be and how much worse I could be. Very simply, what if I just lost a hand? Even that, I'd be like, man, fuck. Like imagine you're just missing your hand and then you're like
just chopping onions.
God damn, yeah,
you just miss.
Man. Yep, and then you got fucking flesh-eating bacteria or whatever. They had to amputate, and
that shit is scary,
isn't it? Yeah, it could happen any moment. But I saw this TED Talk, so I don't know. Now, in retrospect, I don't know if it's bullshit, but the TED Talk was about happiness, and they did this study on amputees and lottery winners, right? So people who lost a limb and people who won the lottery, and they found out that, I think it was like 2 years later, their happiness levels were the same. There's no difference in the happiness levels from before and after.
Okay.
So their happiness was actually consistent across the thing that happened, whether it was terrible or great.
Yeah.
Like, so that, to me, that kind of the whole lesson of the TED Talk was that, like, we think our happiness is dependent on these external circumstances or whatever, but there's something internal. There's some kind of internal consistency that we can see inside of people that, I mean, I think that, to me, that's liberating. It like, I get, a lot of times you get depressed. You're like, why me? Or why, a lot of shit might have happened to you. A lot of shit's happened to me, so you think about it and you think about why and this and that. But at the same time, think of all the luck and the goodness that you've had in your life, that I've had in my life to get me to this point where I'm alive and well. I'm doing what I want. I'm not fucking starving. I'm not, being chased. Like I'm not in. My life is not in danger. You know, like I have love in my life. Things like that. Like the things I'm grateful for. The things you're grateful for. And I feel like the multiverse to me helps me feel like the concept, at least. It helps me feel like, well, then all these things are possible. Yeah. And maybe I'm the agent of that change. Like maybe it's not external. It's actually something inside of me that's going to direct like what my reality is.
For sure.
Okay, you're on board with that. Some people aren't. Some people think that it's got, that there is something outside of them that they have to sort of conform to or follow the rules. You know what I mean? In order to be this actualized person or be a good person or to find that peace, like all that stuff. It's not. I'm not saying it's atheistic. I'm not saying there's no God or anything like that. I'm just saying, to me, my whole life I feel like I've been around people who've tried to find happiness like through external thing like love or money or a person or material objects, like just something, but
it should be intrinsic.
Exactly, because that's all you're left with in the end.
True.
And if you're not satisfied with that, then you'll never be happy. You're always suffering, right? So
gotta find those, those rituals in life.
Yes,
that build that feeling of, community, happiness, belonging, creativity.
Sure. And these are things that matter to you as a human being.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, some people, there's a certain sociopathic trend of in our culture where none of that matters, right? Like you know what I mean? Like there's, that's
I'm one
obvious.
of them.
Sure, we're
I'm
all.
just kidding.
I mean,
true.
so
We do slip. I fell.
Let's put it
4
this way.
feet.
I think as Americans, we can't help but to be sociopaths on some level, like unwittingly, not on purpose, but unwittingly. We consume 4 times the amount of resources as the rest of the world. We make more trash than them. We bomb.
You mean I eat?
Yes.
4 times as much
as like a Filipino Mitchell, yeah, or like a Chinese Mitchell,
cappuccinos,
or like times 4, all of it. It's just by virtue of being here. I mean, just even the poorest of us has much more than, so...
I have 4 more herpes than someone in a third world country.
Possibly. I mean, you should only be so lucky, right? And why aren't you going out there spreading the love? You should be a missionary. You should be going
By the way,
there.
I do not have herpes.
Whoa, okay. Thank you. I'm going to make sure that's part of the clip I put out. Or do you want me to beep that out too? Is that top secret? Is that part of the Air Force?
I don't like people knowing my status. Some people they are like, they find it hot when they don't know someone's status. I met someone like this. It's bizarre. People are into some kinky shit.
Okay, so you met somebody who was like, I like having the potential danger of a disease, sexually transmitted disease. That's thrilling to me.
That's what people are in. Well, they're not insane. They're just different. They just have a different mind than the majority of people.
But do you think that's real, or do you think that
in a certain way?
You think he's bullshitting? I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you had a fucking needle, if you were like, all right, well, I got a needle. I got a syringe filled, with fucking syphilitic gonorrhea, whatever, the fucking worst possible thing. Like, you think he would do it? He probably wouldn't, right? Like, I think he would be like, no.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe his kink is that possibility.
I feel like for a lot of people, yes, it's the glamour. It's all about the glamour than the substance. You know what I'm saying? Like people like want to talk a big game, but when push comes to shove, who's actually doing? That's what like who's actually doing it? Because that's what's important here.
Me.
The action.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right. I think no. I think wait. Huh? Go. Oh, you want to hit this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
Y'all, we are hitting almond milk.
Almond milk?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you call weed? Is that we're smoking a blunt in that? We are in Mid-City, quote-unquote Mid-City. Oh, yeah. Remember I was telling you about the racial segregation and all that stuff, like Los Angeles? That's why a lot of these real estate designations they're just made-up names, of neighborhoods people came up with.
I can't get it. I can't open the lid.
All right. Do you need a technical order to execute this operation?
Yes. Have you seen those people that kick off the lid of a water bottle cap on Twitter?
Oh, the water bottle challenge. Water cap.
Yes.
Hey, guys, what's up?
I'll be there to meet you. After this.
Okay. Water bottle challenge.
Yes.
Do you fucking...
Have you seen the water bottle challenge on Twitter?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of variations of it.
Have you seen the Mariah Carey one?
Wait, did you... you have anything? I thought you had something to say about it. Is that you're just asking me if have I seen it?
Oh yeah, because it was.
I haven't seen the Mariah Carey one. No, is that one good? Is she doing a spin kick too?
I don't know if I can ruin it.
Ruin it. I don't care.
Okay,
I don't really care, yeah.
So she's like about to karate chop it.
Uh-huh.
But then she like puts her hand up to your ear and she goes, "Ah!" Or Mariah Carey thing, and it spins and it just
on its own. Okay. You hired some CGI company to do that.
I think I'm trying to look at the video to figure out how
it costs $50,000 to do that. But you know what? It was worth it for the likes. You know, it's worth it for the likes. That's all we got now. Mitchell, that's what you went to fight for. You helped this country maintain a system of likes, and I think you should be proud because otherwise it would be chaos. You know. All right, I'm sorry I keep bringing up your military service.
Wait, what'd you say?
Wait.
I totally I
was saying that your service enabled us to have this system where likes are so important and people are just doing. Mariah Carey herself, Mariah Carey, who is really a superstar. Once was a superstar back in the day. Very talented person. Can't say she's not talented. She's not like these young up and coming pop stars who are kind of like more looks and kind of a manufactured
for sure
corporate thing. Like she's pure talent. She came out and then she took a turn because fame does that to people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
always.
Like, and
that's why I don't want to be famous. I just want to
I think it's bad. Yeah, I don't think it's good for you.
I just want to be so fucking good that they have to come through this bodily trash to get it.
All right. When you say good, what do you mean? A good at
I want to just be like, I want people to fucking be like, like they can't hardly laugh when I speak.
Oh, comedy. Okay, I thought we were still talking about dating. All right, yeah,
you got me. Yeah,
but I thought, okay, yes. So you just want to get good, undeniably.
Yeah,
which
I just feel like it's just.
So at some point you got out of the thing, and then did you do comedy in the Air Force?
I did as a release while I was in.
You did do comedy in the Air Force. Okay.
I built up a lot of anxiety.
Was your first open mic an Air Force open mic or something, or some kind of base open mic?
It was like off base for sure. It was. I started in the Bay Area ish.
Ish. So where's that? San Jose, Santa Cruz. So south. Okay. Banana slugs.
Santa Cruz.
Yeah. UC Santa Cruz.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Such a great spot to start in. What an experience. Shout out to everyone who came, has been through, who was in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz has shaped me. Like everywhere we start at, everywhere we go, we are shaped,
Right.
Santa Cruz, it brought out my weirdness. I also did a lot of very character-y stuff back then, and I'm really glad I did it because it's now like that experience of doing that, it's allowed me to like be comfortable now.
Right.
Because I did it then.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did it when I was in as a release, and then after I said bye to the military, I came down to LA. I was like, let's check it out.
And just keep doing comedy.
Happens. Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to keep, and stand up in particular, as opposed to like just acting or.
Yeah, specifically. I mean, I'm putting it on the record that if anything else happens, I am down. Okay.
All right. He's down. Agents, get at him. He's not turning down money he doesn't have.
I'm not. It's like I don't care about it, but I'm down for whatever project. I mean, don't put me in some B movie trash. Put me in. I want to be in like D movie. Okay.
Here's the question. Would you do it for the money?
No.
We're putting that's on the record right now. Are you sure? Wait, he's thinking about it. For those of you listening, he's got a pensive face.
Wait, what do you mean by that? It's still kind of ambiguous.
What do I ambiguous? You just said don't put me in any B movie. Obviously, what you're implying is you want to be in projects of quality, right?
Yes, like of artful quality.
Yes, but what I asked is, would you do it for the money? It being, would you compromise that standard you just set for an X amount of money, for a certain amount of money? I mean, we can start.
So
we're open to bidding. It sounds like we're open to bidding. All right,
so
hell yeah.
dead
Yes, the devil's got his foot in the door. All right.
No, this
Here we go.
wine
Let's
is
the
hitting
bidding
really
start.
hard.
Oh, that's all it takes. Yes,
The wine.
ply him with liquor and marijuana, and soon
This is
he will
almond
say,
milk.
"I have
Almond
a price in
milk."
mind. A price will just tumble out of my mouth. A price for my soul." Well, I don't
No.
judge. I mean, honestly, I don't. What else are we in this for? For money,
Honestly,
you know what I'm saying? So I don't. To me, it's everybody has their own.
No, here's the thing. I am working
All right.
on trying to be. See, here's also something else. I like being independent, freedom, especially
freedom
after
is
the
a value.
military.
Yeah.
After just I don't know experiences.
South Carolina.
It's just. I think there's happiness in just true freedom. Just chilling on a beach, just having a margarita and just laying out. Sun's out, tits out. The beach is this.
I know what the beach is. Yeah. I mean, that's an incredible. Yes, I feel like a Corona. I should have a.
No, we got a draft craft beer.
So you would.
No Corona. The beach towel is huge.
Would you? What if someone offered you a lifetime of chilling, but no comedy? Which would you pick?
What's the other option?
Well, it's you just keep doing comedy. This, what you're doing. Somebody will make it possible for you to just chill on the beach for the rest of your life, taken care of. Except the trade-off
okay, so the
is,
only options are comedy but no chilling.
Right.
Or
yeah, this is a test of your value. This is how
or
the
no
devil
comedy.
makes deals, right? It's not like an open-ended, like multi-platform contract here. It's an offer based on, what are you truly willing to sacrifice, right? Like, I always believe that what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for, is what is the value? What is the value of living? What is the value of our country? What is the value of all of this beyond the material?
So chilling but no comedy.
Yeah.
That would just be meditation.
Right.
I meditated before. I need to do it some more to really give you an answer.
I do it every day. Almost every day. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. It's very hard.
The longest I've gone is 20 minutes.
20 is what I do, but I try to do it every day.
The first time I did 20 minutes, I cried.
Good for you. And I think you should keep trying to shoot for. I think 20, according to a lot of the whatever research they've done, but around 20 consistently is fine. Is it's a good place to start. And as long as you can try. I think consistency is more important than
just
the success.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about meditation that's really hard is to not judge yourself because you're literally sitting and it's you can't fucking sit, you fucking asshole.
It's weird.
You moron.
It's a weird thing
you
to just
fucking moron. Yeah, you get down. So I get so down on myself because I'm like,
is meditation supposed to be a fix to us evolving to have thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, the way I think of it is we lack any kind of mental discipline practice in our culture. You know what I mean? We have all kinds of things for physical discipline. We have all kinds of things for intellectual discipline, but we don't. The only thing we really have as a tool for our mind and how it works is to just sit and observe it. You know what I mean? We because otherwise it's pharmacological or it's a therapist or something like that. But the one thing we don't even do for ourselves, and it's the hardest thing in the world, is to just sit with ourselves and observe. Because we're so distracted and we're constantly things. There's constantly something. And so I think it's a way of
notifications.
I think it's just a way of inventorying what your mind does, and then over time you start to identify patterns.
Yeah.
And then once I started identifying those patterns, it became easier to spot me doing them in real life. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm doing that thing, and then I think another reason why people quit a lot is because you start revealing a lot about yourself that might be ugly, that you don't like, that it calls attention to that stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's the kind of stuff you're trying to avoid a lot of times, And then you're like, oh man, I always get angry at this or that, or I always fucking, or I literally do the same thing over and over. For
that
some
awareness
reason.
of, I guess.
The habit, yeah. But I think the habits that you have that you do blindly almost, like subconsciously, they might call it in psychology talk,
Yeah, I came to a realization that like every 2 days I would just listen to Nickelback, and I'm just like, ugh.
Man, you need help. Yeah, that's in the DSM-4, I think. That's or 5, I think now. They're that's you've actually diagnosed that.
If you're a fan of Nickelback, I'm just kidding.
No, Nickelback is an easy swing. I mean, Nickelback is a very everybody hates Nickelback. It's just so well known, all right, so then you're good doing the comedy. You're out there. You're out here. You're also at school. You're doing things. So you're doing a lot of stuff, trying to be funny, right? I've posed quite a few moral conundrums for you in terms of. Well, I love them. Well, that's why I think the devil's not just some dude who's like, hey, you want to go be rich or something. He's going to offer you a real choice. I'm not saying I'm the devil. I'm just saying I'm trying to be the advocate. Devil's advocate. And I would imagine that if do you believe in the devil? You believe in the devil as a entity, like is it actual?
Who knows?
Okay, so agnostic. You're not. You don't know.
I am.
Yeah. You call yourself a shaman. Is that is there a shaman is typically associated with usually ingesting psychoactive plant medicine and communing with that. Typically, it doesn't have to be because in Korean culture, shamanism is actually through drums and
I want to learn how to play drums.
Drums and like the euphoria of of music, and that's actually how they communicated to whoever. To get into that spirit world, right? Like that's what they did. So it does imply a connection to the spirit world, or at least a guide to the spirit world, as
the spirit world. It's immaterial. It's
what makes you?
It's fiction.
What qualifies you as a shaman? I don't mean to call you out, but I'm just asking.
First of all, I call myself that because I am literally insane. I need to be in a mental institution. And 2, because it just makes sense up to this life point that I feel like I should call myself that. Okay. And also it's like I think comedy is healing. It's so cheesy, but it's so true. I feel it in my core, my back, and in my feet. And
they're all, great places to like feel stuff. Your core, your back, and your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's getting a visual here, so that's
my thighs.
Okay. Yeah. Mitchell is glistening with body oil and just laying out in the sun. And,
I'm wearing a Speedo right now. I'm so sorry, listeners.
This is why I need a video component to this podcast. This is why I should be getting all of this. But okay, so the shaman thing is actually connected to comedy. You're like saying like you'll take you to the healing place through the comedy or whatever.
There's also a thing.
Not to do with drugs. I was just cause
no. Because some people, some shamans do use plants. We all could be a shaman, honestly.
No, I wouldn't trust everybody to guide me through the spirit realm. You know,
I'm saying everyone could.
Oh, that's a different statement. Gotcha. Okay. You're saying everybody has a potential.
Yes.
That's a very hopeful and optimistic view of humanity, and I applaud you for seeing the goodness. I think there is goodness in everybody. I too believe. I am actually.
Well, I know.
Optimistic.
I remember I took a Far East religions class, and something I took out of Confucianism was that people cultivate themselves into goodness through learning.
Yeah, that's how you.
And also, sometimes I feel like this whole shaman thing is something that's helping my own mental health.
Oh, definitely.
Because as I learn to become good at comedy, I'm becoming a shaman.
Yes. I totally understand. I think it's also a harsh indictment of our mental health system. That's our release. The release for so many people is to pursue a profession that may end in disaster. But I agree completely that there is a cathartic healing. Yeah, you're bringing, laughter is a much necessary, thing. It's a much necessary thing. Yeah, it's a much needed thing amongst people especially in times of stress, whatever, and you recognize your role as the shaman or jester, clown, whoever it is, who's the bridge between them feeling bad and them feeling good. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the
theater, yes.
The place of theater, the rituals that happen inside.
Yes.
It's supposed to be kind of like we're in the material world, and there's also the immaterial world that the performer that brings into.
Oh, you ever see Cave of Forgotten Dreams? You know what that movie is? It's a documentary about a cave they found. It's a cave they found in Europe where they found these cave paintings that were something like 35,000 years old or something like that.
Cave of Forgotten Dreams.
Yeah. And it's they actually got a 3D camera in there and shit, and like it's so well preserved because there was some kind of avalanche and it kind of preserved it. But there's like handprints, like these handprints. It's like art. There's genuine art from 35,000. I mean, or something like that. Something ridiculously long ago.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I realized, I was in a movie theater watching this, and one of the things they did was they would build a fire and make drawings that would look like they'd move the light of the fire, so it looked animated.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it'd be a bunch of cave people, actually dudes. It was all dudes for some reason too. That's something they figured out. There's a bunch of dudes sitting around a fire looking at a wall with pictures on it, and I was in a movie theater in a dark room looking at a brightly lit wall. You know what I mean? It's like I'm literally doing the same thing these human beings did 35,000 years ago. You know, it's like, sure, the technology is better or whatever the fuck, but it's the same action. If an alien came, they'd be like, you guys are doing the same thing. It's the same. You're just sitting and staring at a brightly lit wall with pictures on it. Like, that's what we've been doing. So does that
mean that wall that was being lit, it brought to life that moment that...
Yes. So just like you were saying, that connection between the material and the immaterial world, that's what that was for the first people. You know, seeing these pictures, because they were usually animals or the hunt or some story, right? It's like it's a shared reality that's being created outside of actual reality, right? That's sort of the beginnings of like creating mythology, you know, creating a dream world, creating this like idea, a realm of ideas that don't actually exist in reality, but we could make a reality. You know what I mean? Like just this idea of like storytelling, all this stand-up comedy, you know, all this stuff comes, I feel like, from that idea that we would.
So I have two things.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is, oh no, I lost it. I know what the second thing is, but the first one.
Just go for the second thing, unless they're connected. Last time you had two things, your first thing was you were insane. So it's hard to follow that up. It's like, my first point is that I'm sane. Number two.
That's funny. Well, it was about how, you know, these... Okay, so I'll just go to the second thing. It's about, like, virtual reality. It's like...
Virtual reality? Yeah.
It just makes me think, like... It's the next level.
But at the same time, it's not. It's also a projection. You know what I mean? It's also.
You know what
I mean? Like, it's just a projection. We are constantly in a realm of illusion. You know about the Plato's cave? You know, the allegory of the cave?
The Maya.
The Maya, as in the Mayans?
It's Maya is the word for illusion in Hindu.
Oh, yes, you're right. When you're in samsara, and the idea of you know about the allegory of the cave from Plato. It's a famous old story about the guys. Imagine a world where everybody's in a cave and all they see are shadows on a wall, and and one of them breaks free and goes outside and sees the whole world out there, sunlight, everything. He's totally blinded, right? But then comes back in and tries to tell everybody that, like, hey, this isn't reality. These are just shadows on a wall. There's like an actual reality out there. Everybody in the cave would call him crazy. Everybody in the cave would be like, get at what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is real. You know, you're insane. Like, that's what so I feel like that is part of the human condition is we keep ourselves in this illusion. We maintain illusions.
I'm that caveman.
You're the guy who breaks out.
I'm the guy who breaks out.
And comes back in. And what would your first words be coming back in from the cave to the people there?
Y'all want pizza?
Wow, that's actually a good sell. That's a good sell because I'd be like, "What's that?" And then you would have to. Hopefully, you would have some at that point.
That person would be a hero.
Can you imagine? Yeah. And that to me, that person is the person who was like the first person to say like, "Hey, maybe we can ride horses," or the first person to say like, "Hey, maybe we can cook this meat on a fire."
You know what drives me sometimes?
What's that?
And I think it could be a flaw, actually. It's like that gratification that I can help the world in some way, whether it's like knowledge or helping people move forward in life.
You want to help people.
I guess so. Is that it? Is that it? Am I?
You just sound disappointed.
Oh my God! No, because I thought I was narcissist.
You sound very. You sound disappointed. You're like, God damn it! I want to help people. Is that the truth of it? I mean, it is if you are, a self-proclaimed narcissist, and deep down at the heart of it, you actually do want to help people. I could see that it is kind of, kind of lame. I get that.
It's like it's not oxymoron. It's like I'm a hypocrite.
Right.
I do talk about it on stage.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well,
aren't we all?
I brought it. I took it off, but now
talk about it more because we all are. Here's the thing. I noticed, especially in LA, what I'm compelled to talk about doesn't get the best reaction from people. But I think the reason is because it's something they might be trying to avoid. You know what I mean?
Or it just needs more work, that bit or whatever.
Sure.
To just,
no, that's always a given. No matter what, the bit always needs work. That's to me at least, it's never good enough. But I'm just noticing a certain reaction with certain subjects because I could start talking about fucking like Twinkies or something, and people are on board 100%. You know what I mean? I could go on a rant.
Oh yeah, because like people like that escape. I think that's a part of the process of it. Is like learning when to bring out certain moments.
Sure, and some of comedy is an escape, but at the same time,
people want laughs, but the laughs come from truth sometimes. Sometimes it comes from the silliness.
Well, people have different tastes, just like they have different tastes in food. And some people want rich desserts. Some people want something like you, very quick, like an avocado toast or something. Some people want something natural. Some people.
How would you describe your comedy?
I hate trying to describe it because I don't know. I don't really know.
Same.
I've been told that it is smart. I could say that it's smart. I don't go I'm smart, but that's what some people have said to me.
Yeah.
But I think I'm I'm very direct, and that's very off-putting, especially as an Asian dude. There's an element of, and so I feel like you're either on board or you're not. You know what I mean? Like,
get him on board.
I do. I try. I do. That's part
Give
of
him
what
a discount.
$5.
Let him come in for free.
$5, or free. Nah, but you can't give it away for free. Well, I am actually. I'm giving it away for free. Hey, how you doing? But speaking of giving it away for free, where can the people find you doing your comedy? Can you have a show coming up? Is there anything you want to plug?
Wait, when are you posting this?
Fuck, it could be a week or so. So nothing.
July 27th, I am doing Cult Cereal at Junior High. It's a Saturday at noon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm doing roast battle against Harper Rose Drummond. She is nothing. And August 6th roast battle. No, she's great. She's fucking hilarious. But yeah,
Harper
roast battle
Rose.
at the Comedy Store in L.A.
Comedy Store, Los Angeles. Roast battle.
Harper Rose.
Anything else? And then you're...
you can find me on social media. Just like put in my name or whatever.
Put in Mitchell Lamar.
Yeah.
That's it. You sure? Because I do remember it being a little hard looking for you.
I love the surprise. I love
By
the
surprise,
chase.
you mean you don't like being found easily?
I am learning as I get older. For me, I just like... I don't care about... if you find me in the right moment, if you come to a show, I'm on it. That's the moment that you were meant to find me.
IRL. That's what.
But
Mitchell
I mean, my
Lamar.
name is Mitchell Lamar. You could easily find me online, but
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Mitchell Lamar
That was
encourages
such a-
you
yeah.
to stalk him, essentially. But essentially, you want people to do detective work to find you, dig through multiple names of people named Mitchell Lamar. I'll put a picture of you up so they have a reference. They cross-reference the picture with you, try to find you, and then if they find you, they can come to you in person
Yeah.
and
yeah.
maybe have a
That's how
connection
it
at that
works.
moment.
Yeah.
And then after that, will you follow each other? Will you follow them back? Whatever. You'll work that out. You'll work that all out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. My people will meet your people.
Okay.
Is that how it works? I don't know how Hollywood
It
works.
will.
I'm just here because I told you, like, I left the military and I just drove. I drove. And I crashed into the Hollywood sign because I was looking at my phone. They fixed it now, don't worry. That was like back in 2005, 15. What is time? And now I'm here.
Okay, well, I think that was a really good introduction. That's a good bio, actually. I hope that's what you use for your website. I don't know if you have what you didn't plug it, so I don't know if you have. You might have one if you look. If you search and Google Mitchell Lamar, go to page 3 of the search results, and you'll find his website because he's not trying to be found. It's the opposite of search engine optimization. It's just
I want the experience to be the one that you find.
okay, cryptic. I do assume you want followers and fans, though. You do want to make people laugh.
I want them to be fans of the comedy, not me.
Okay, well, that's noble. I think that's Mitchell is sacrificing himself on the altar of comedy. He's, I'm
posing on this altar.
He is in a Speedo, completely.
It's like rainbow. No, that's too. I don't do that. If I wear a Speedo, it's very, very like dark colored, dark blue. Like
I
a
didn't
dark
even
blue.
say the color, but
Sorry, I go
you
there.
jumped ahead. You went
Sorry.
there. Fine. Okay, he's coloring it blue. It's dark blue.
Drawstrings. Sorry, this is
With
probably too much for you. I'm
drawstrings.
so sorry.
No, it is not.
Sorry.
Do I seem uncomfortable?
No, I don't
Oh.
know. I know straight people.
Straight people get weird around you?
No, they get when something. Okay, so
we didn't
something-
talk about it. We could go another hour talking about your sexuality. I'm glad we could out minute 56.
Oh
we're
my
back.
goodness.
Sexuality comes up. You
No,
brought
we're
it up,
good.
not
We're good.
me.
I think
you said that the
everyone
straight
else-
people. So go ahead. No, I'm actually curious to hear what you think about the straight people because that's hilarious to me.
I feel like sex is like very heteronormative perspective.
Sure. Yeah.
Minded.
Yeah.
When like someone in the minority talks about their sexuality, it like there's a clam up.
Oh,
There's a clam up.
so like when you talk about gay sex or something,
all the
people-
straight, definitely men, they just go, oh!
That's
when
funny.
like I'm about to do a misdirection, I'm not going to talk
Right.
about buttholes.
Well, I don't even.
I'm going to talk about the nipples.
Honestly, I think they're just they're all attracted to you, and that's not to say that I'm not or anything, but I'm just I don't want to
When they
insult you,
clam?
but no, I'm just like I'm not. To me, I don't care, so it's hilarious. Like anything you tell me about it,
I forgot about
so I'm curious. You know what I mean? Like I'm not I'm tragically straight.
Oh, me. See, now I'm stereotyping some straight men and women.
But isn't that based off your observations? Aren't you? Aren't your stereotypes based in reality?
What is real? What's
That's
true?
equivalent. Yes.
You know what? That's in there.
I apologize for the periodic screaming. It's not any sort of generalization at all. It's just Mitchell screams. Like it has nothing to do with the sex. He brought up the sexuality, not me. But a lot of yeses and what is real. That's the common phrase I think you've screamed, which is fine. I don't think, but I think it's an insight into your psyche, which I'm interested in. That's really, I'm interested in people.
What is real? I scream that. I do scream it.
That's why he's a shaman. I mean, that's right. That's what qualifies him.
I don't know what realm I'm in right now.
Right? Yeah, and I think that is exactly the type of attitude we need for a spiritual guide. And
That's funny.
so thank you, Mitchell Lamar. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
I know I have a lot of family members who serve, so I know that they don't like that, and they actually make fun of it. Like they're like, thank me for my service and stuff like that. You know, like it's like for fun, you know, because they think it's stupid. So I never say that. I always just say sorry, I couldn't be there. You know, that's how I feel. But because thank you for your service is sort of meaningless. You know, it's just like an empty platitude. Like
sorry,
I feel like I could have been there. I could have done something. I could have done more.
You should have.
I should have done more instead of.
They called your name when we were in the trenches.
No, you know what it was? I went to Berkeley. I was brainwashed, and I thought, well, not really. I really did think it was an illegal war. You know,
what did you major in?
Political science and psychology. Yeah.
So you must be interested in this mind.
I'm interested in all minds, but yes, yours in particular. I try to ask people that I find interesting to be on the podcast. That's part of.
Okay, so before we go, what is one question you feel that I have not answered, or you've been wanting to ask me?
That's a weird question because that implies that there's this, unanswered, untalked about stuff.
No, it's just
let's see.
What's something that you want to ask me?
I mean, I asked you. I mean,
political
I was really
science and psychology. That's such a cool mix.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely already asked you
something
about,
that you want to ask everybody.
Well, I always want to ask them something about, especially if they're comedians, like what brought them there and what their sort of value system is about it. I am very interested in people's childhoods and pasts, or sort of the context of where they're coming from.
Okay.
And I'm also super interested in mental health. So like the way people are dealing with their lives, and whether, because honestly, there's nothing for us. We're all on our own, basically. We got to figure it out. That's just the way it is, So that's part of that. And for me, it's been a combination of, therapy, meditating, psychedelics, like it's just everything, comedy, fucking creativity, doing stuff, like doing just to keep it together, and not end it all. So, that's just me, so I guess, I mean, there's a lot of questions per se that maybe are better off air. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like we already revealed state secrets. So, what more could we?
I have a question.
What more damage could we do? Yeah, go for it.
How's your soul today?
My soul?
How's your soul today?
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel so bad.
Okay.
I was a little blue for a little bit, but I'm like getting out of it. Feeling better.
What was the impetus for the blue?
Well, I have periodic depression, just in general. I have my whole life, but it was like my dad's birthday and then like my birthday. It's like a 40-day period where it's his birthday and my birthday, and typically I call him on his birthday, and then he doesn't call me on my birthday. There's that's stupid. Whatever. There's all of that, but my dad in particular has run off with a young lady to Dallas somewhere at the beginning of the, like, I have no idea where he is, and he hasn't called me and whatever. So it's just so it's like,
wow, it must be.
It's crazy. It's like a crazy thing. But the thing is, part of the thing I'm dealing with is that it's not inconsistent. So that's the thing. As a middle-aged man now, looking back at my dad and like my childhood, I'm like, oh shit, that all makes sense. He was just fucking around. He was on his 5th wife before he left this one. So he was like,
wow,
he was basically cheating. It's the same pattern. And now I can see he was probably doing the same shit, just fucking around on all of them until they broke up and moved on to the next wife, the next wife.
So is it a habit? Can these habits change?
Well, my dad's 70. I mean, he turned 70 on his birthday, so I don't know. I mean, it's up to I think he cast his lot. I think he said fuck it. To me, him running away with this. I think according to my stepmom, she's younger than me. So God bless him. Fucking go good. Part of me is like, good for you, Dad, but the other part of me is like,
what is your dad like? What's the industry he's in?
He was in. Well, get this. He started a market. It's pretty stereotypical, but like he started a market, a grocery store with my stepmom. Like she helped him basically put up the money to get the store, and then they worked together for like almost 20 years.
Oh, wow, that's
got a bunch of money, and then he like basically ran off and like took the money, stopped making payments on the house. Like she's getting fucking thrown out of the house. He took the fucking money. They're in a divorce thing going on, but he took
which wife is that?
This is wife number 5.
Oh, wow.
And he ran off, he divorced her and ran off with a younger woman, which is...
The 6th woman.
Which is number 6, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Which changes so much of my material. That's a whole. I have all these jokes. You know what I mean? Like 8 years in comedy, building up all these bits based on five wives. Now I have to re-update all my jokes to 6 wives. It doesn't flow off the tongue the same. 5, 5 is it's on one hand. You could. I'm holding a mic with one.
My
6, I have to use a finger on the other hand. It's ridiculous.
No, you could add that in there.
I do. I mean, that's the only recourse I have. That's how I heal. That's all I have. Do you understand? All I have are these jokes. And so that's, I shall take them. That's what I do.
Fascinating.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, but you can find me. Just Google
Mitchell Lamar. It's probably a very uncommon name. I'm sure nobody else has the name.
You'll know who it is when you pull me up because it's just a picture of a giraffe with like a earring. You'll see.
A giraffe with an earring. Okay. How do you describe yourself?
Is that what I call myself as a giraffe?
Have you done that on stage? Because you should. You should basically.
That's funny. Yeah, that's funny.
You should see how that goes because I feel like you might get a little traction. Anyways, thank you so much, Mitchell. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Rojan.
Okay.